Let's go!
Oh man. Oh man. That was one hell of a game. That's a hell of a game, dude. Like, holy shit. Talk about a game that is just gonna demand a lot from you and it's not gonna let go, right? It is so sick. It is just so damn sick. Game that just is unrelenting. Oh god. Here at the end of all things. I loved it. It's so sick. It's funny that there's parts of the first Doom, of Doom 2016, that I like a little bit more in some regards. And then others in this game that are just so much better, so much crazier, so much more action. You get to do so much shit. The weakest part of the whole game is clearly the swimming section. The swimming level is just not the best. Yeah, and the swimming was a very small part, and I'm very happy about that. But when it really boils down to what your character's capable of, what you can do, it feels like they're putting a lot on you. It feels like, whoa, okay, you're giving me a lot of tools to work with here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to utilize all this, and even by the end, your movement options and all the utilization is just so... You have to remind yourself what you have to do and what you need to get. I'm looking forward to playing this on Nightmare eventually, but it's gonna be a friggin' nightmare. Like, tried and true, it's going to get crazy. Here's the best part about it. You feel like the Doomslayer. You feel like, I am Earth's fucking savior. I have all these weapons at my disposal, and all these demons are going to die. You feel like you are the Doomslayer when you finish this shit. Just the feelings of satisfaction where it's just like you clear out this arena and all these crazy ass enemies, and then the music stops and everything is clear and you're like, I'm a fucking badass. I loved the giant demons, man. I love fighting the big crazy demons. The ones that are like 15 feet tall and shit. I love those guys. I think the story is like, the thing is I really like the story and I think it's great, but it's a lot different than Doom's story in 2016, where the Doom story in 2016 is very much like, hands off, it's over here. Doom Guy's running this way, but the story's over here. In this game, the lore is kind of, it's not as much, you know, but it's fading into your vision, right? It starts to get closer to your peripheral instead of it just being out here and you have to actually look for it. The story for this game is like, it wants you to pay attention to that. There's some story shit going on, right? There's definitely there's some stuff to deal with. I think the best combination for the future of Doom, for Doom 3, is gonna be a game that probably doesn't have as much elements where you have to look around the level. I think that's the only other big gripe I have regarding like the general gameplay. I enjoy the levels and everything like that, but this game requires you to look around the level a lot for what you need to do. Instead of like sort of focused and getting your ass down, it was very much fight, okay, look around the level, understand where I have to go, all right, then get into a fight, and then I gotta look around the level. It was very much a lot of that stuff. And while I don't mind that, it did seem to kind of like take over the game a bit. There's definitely a section where it's like that, and then it's not like that, and a section where it's like that, and then it's like that. You don't like the gun juggling? That's definitely a big part of it. To be honest, the gun juggling is very much Doom 2016. The game wants you to rapidly weapon swipe and do that shit all the time. So I'm not surprised that that's been kept intact. It's weird. It's like, I want to give this game like a 10 out of 10. I'd probably end up giving it a 9.5, but I think Doom 2016 is a 10 out of 10, just because I think Doom 2016's pacing is a little bit better. But the funny thing is, when it comes to the shooting and the combat, it's way better in this game. It's just so much better. I enjoyed the platforming. I actually liked that stuff. But there's a couple of moments that just bring the pacing down like a little bit. Everything about fighting demons is great. I almost want to do it more, right? I feel like this final boss is way better in this one. When it comes to the actual combat, everything here is better. But it feels like Doom 2016 is a bit easier of a game to play because it's more focused. Like, you just sort of get through it. In this game, it feels like they were tackling challenges like swimming, like for FPS platforming. They wanted to go after these things to make them fun, and I think the platforming they do make it very fun. But there's just those couple of moments, right? It feels like Doom 2016 is more focused on just like, we're gonna kill the demons. This one's about, we're gonna kill the demons and we're going to explore a bit. We're gonna look around the level. I wasn't even like, I was looking for secrets, right? But a lot of this really wants me to like solve puzzles, hit these triggers, go through the door at the right time, like, there's a bunch of that stuff. Yeah, this game, you don't have your super shotgun that just fixes everything, right? I kind of love that. I kind of love that I didn't really have a favorite gun at the end of this. In my opinion, like, the whole arsenal was good. I really like Blood Punch. Yeah, this game felt like the proper sequel, in like, it goes in crazy directions, right? They make it a true sequel. They want to do a ton more gameplay wise. They make the levels huge and gigantic, and feels like the game is almost twice as long as Doom 2016 is. It's too intense to constantly be fighting for 15 hours straight. I mean, I don't think that flow is bad. I think that it just, the way they did it is just a little much. To me, like, the game really picks up on stage 4. Stage 4 is where you go back to Earth and everything's trying to fucking kill you. Everything wants you dead now. And it was like, whoa, shit, okay. All right, here we go. The thing is, I loved so much about it. I do have like some gripes, and I can't really think of my gripes with Doom 2016. I don't have any initial gripes, but there's moments in this game that are so much better than Doom 2016. Right, the satisfaction after completing these arenas are so, like, they feel better than Doom 2016 does, because if I go back and I play in Doom 2016 now, it's gonna feel slow as shit. It's gonna feel like a baby's game in comparison to this. This game feels like, this game wants to kick your ass. And it also wants you to look around the levels and do some platforming and then do a puzzle, right? I feel this game is a lot more demanding of the player. It's a lot more demanding to solve this shit and figure stuff out. And I appreciate that, right? I like that. I'm playing on Ultra Violence, right? I'm not even playing on, like, Nightmare. But even in normal, I'd assume that you kind of still have to abide by those rules. This game does try to feel a bit more action gamey. Yeah, it kind of does. This game tries to tackle, like, a lot of things. And I feel like it's trying to tackle a bit too much at times. I don't think anything they do specifically bad, except the swimming. The swimming isn't, like, fuck awful. It just isn't. I don't think it really has a place. Sort of similar to the goop levels where you can't, you know, dash around in the goop and you gotta walk around them. That part's obviously, like, not that great either. At that point, it starts to feel more Dark Souls-like, you know, than anything, where it's like, oh, we want to put these unique challenges. You can't jump now, you can't dash, and it's like, I don't know if that is great. They sort of break the pace of the game. But yeah, like, holy hell, dude. What a fucking game, right? Just what a crazy ass game. I don't even know. Like, to me, I don't even know how the hell you expand upon this. Doom Guy gets so much shit in his arsenal that the only thing you're gonna get him in the next game is a fucking jetpack, right? He's gonna actually get a jetpack and fly around. Game is exhausting in the best kind of way. And that last boss fight, the last boss fight is just the epitome of what the game is requiring of you. Right now you have to handle 6 different situations at once and one big situation, right? There's one big goal and then all this other crap coming after you. To me, the Maker boss fight was the easiest one. The Maker boss fight was nice, but it was very simple. Like, it was just not hard. The other Maker, like the Maker simpletons, you just shoot in the head and they die and they immediately give you ammo. I kind of like those enemies being around because, like, I enjoy the level designs. It's just that the game, it almost takes a little bit too much time in between the pace of all the crazy, like, action and stuff to get you to the next fight, right? There's almost so much time, like, looking around and jumping and exploring. Yeah, 2016 is more accessible. I would not jump into Eternal. If you're just like, I want to play a Doom game, should I play Doom Eternal? No, play Doom 2016. Very important ending cutscene. Right? Very important ending cutscene for the lore. Important for the lore. Yeah, this game has a much better art style than Doom. This game has much more interesting levels and a better art style. Like, the levels take you to so many different areas. Like, some levels, it feels like there's 4 or 5 levels jammed into one. Like, that variety of lone. I feel like I would probably, here's the weird thing. Here's a weird thing with Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. Me going back to Doom 2016 is legit gonna make me feel the game isn't as good. There's gonna be some parts of Doom 2016 that just don't hit the same beats that this game does, and it's not going to feel as good. While this game lacks some of that focused pacing, but so many other things are way better in this one that it's going to be hard for me to go back to Doom 2016 and not feel like, oh, this game's just not as good, right? I highly recommend, if you guys are going to jump into these, play Doom 2016, because the combat is just going to feel slower. It's just going to feel like less of what I can do. I'm going to miss all the stuff that I can do in this game. And the fact that, yeah, like the art design, some of the enemy variety, like a lot of that shit. You went back to 2016, you were instinctively pressing dash. That's a big one. That's going to be a big one. Some of the levels are just so good. Right, they're just so sick in this game. That's why it's like, I wanted to say it's like 10 out of 10. This is honestly one of the best. I still think it's one of the best games I've played. I really do. But yeah, just like the pure, wonderful, like video gaminess of what the game is asking you to do is so much fun. Just like the little moments and beats and weaknesses, and like I honestly think, like, in raw first-person shooting gameplay experience, this is so, like, they loved the shit out of it. Like, we want to push our players and we want them to, the game really does feel like you need to be playing the game the way we need you to be playing it. There's no easy way out with Doom Eternal. I don't know about, I'm really curious on like normal difficulty, if it's like that, but this honestly is like, the game is going to require you to use all of these mechanics. And if you forget that chainsaw refills and you don't have and you always feel like you're out of ammo, that's because you're not utilizing mechanics. Like you are not doing what you need to be doing. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the more that I'm reflecting on it, the more I do give it a 10 out of 10, right? I think the things that are weak about it are made up for the fact of how exemplary other aspects are. Yeah, and this is my first 140, plus 140 FPS game that I've played, and holy shit, dude. What a game to do it on.